L.A. Williams, and I am here on the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. And somewhere around here, we got my man, Mr. Sean V. Bradley. Where you at,
What's
Sean?
up, player?
Oh,
I'm
man,
at an undisclosed location right now. Shh, don't worry about it.
Listen, man, I'm sitting here with one of the most influential cats in the entire world, really. I'm super excited because the first time I saw him, he was online chatting with Grant Cardone. Then I got a chance to go to his office and meet him out in Vegas. And so, man, this guy is super phenomenal. Anyone, you want to talk about the person behind the Damon Johns, the Tony Robbins, the Grant Cardones, a lot of successful people, this guy is behind them. So hopefully I'll be next, man. Let me introduce my main man, Mr. Brad Lee. What's up, Brad?
Brad Lee in the house.
Good. Right on. Super excited. So man, where are you actually from?
Originally?
Yeah, because, you just cool, laid back, relax. I love it. What's your...
Originally, a place called Cottage Grove, Oregon.
Okay.
Really?
I know somewhere on the West Coast. Yeah,
okay.
West Coast. All right, cool. So just fill in the gaps and telling people a little bit of your personal story real quick.
Well, going how far back?
Oh man, just whatever you want to share. Listen, this is the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. So we got a bunch of folks that want to become millionaires. How do you do it? Where'd you come from?
Well, I think at the end of the day, man, what's most important, because it doesn't really matter who says you can't, as long as you're not one of them.
Absolutely. I love
So I think mindsets, when it boils down to it, to be successful, I think it boils down to mindset and choices. See, people don't realize that it's the choices that you make that determine the road you'll take. Some people are making good choices, some people are making bad ones, but if you look at somebody's life, you can tell by the quality of their life what kind of decisions they're making.
Be specific on that. That's deep, but give me an example.
Well, I mean, look at a guy in prison, right? And they're sitting there wondering why they're in prison, okay? And then you start to trace back what really happened that day. Well, let's say, they got off work and they decided to go to the bar, and then they decided to drink too much, and then they decided to get in their car, and then they crashed and killed somebody. Now they're in prison, wondering what happened. And it's like, dude, it's the choices you made. When you got off work, maybe you should have chose to have one drink. Maybe you should have chose to go home and spend time with your kids. Maybe you should have made a different choice. So at the end of the day, it always boils down to choices. I always say, man, you can't get rich making poor choices.
That's it. It's huge, man. Awesome. So talk to us about this because, like I said, I know you're the man behind so many successful people. I know you do everything well, right? Kind of remind me of that Jay-Z line. But what is your actual expertise?
I constantly learn and develop my expertise, so it's constantly evolving. But I think by now, in the last 20 years, I've become an expert at training. Like, too many companies out there, and people for that matter, confuse training with exposure. So you look at someone's training program and they check a box when someone watched a video or listened to a person talk, and then they say, okay, they're trained. Well, that doesn't make them trained, that makes them exposed. In order to train someone effectively, you need 4 key ingredients. Just like baking a cake. Try baking a cake and leave out the egg. Okay?
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the same. So people are assuming that they're training when they're not. The 4 key ingredients are good content, repetition, practice, and accountability. And most companies forget 1 or 2 or 3 of those elements, and that's what makes their trainings not effective.
Wow. So I basically hear you saying you got to have crack training.
She's got to, you couldn't see my hand, so that's fine. So she's got to just change the batteries in here. Perfect.